your finger at me. Don't
I
be a
will
hypocrite.
point my finger
Don't you be
at
a hypocrite
you.
then. Then you be as
3,900
you should be as upset about the 450,000 kids that were lost.
Then
You
talk
didn't
about
say
it.
a word about it. For 4 years, you never said a word.
Mr. Secretary.
Could you put him in his place for
Don't yell at
You
me.
should
I'm
be
the
put in
good
your
guy.
place.
She brought up 3,900 family separations, and the DHS Secretary brought up a much larger number here, guys. 450,000 missing young ones. And then the hearing fell apart.
Let's not forget what was a Trump administration policy initiated by Stephen Miller, which was to let us separate children from their families at the border, because this would be a way to curtail or to stop immigration. Separating children from their families, how to hurt them the most. I asked and had a phone conversation with Secretary Azar at the time. I know I was in my living room with my 2-year-old grandson on my lap trying to have this conversation. And I asked him if there was a way in which he had a list of how you could reunite children with their families. And he assured me that we did. You know, when you take your clothes to the cleaners, they give you a tag, and you then go back and you retrieve your clothes. When you get luggage, you go and get your luggage is returned. Well, quite
I wish the
frankly,
Biden administration would have done that.
Let me just say this to you, sir. Again, it is my time. 3,900 children were separated from their families.
450,000 kids were lost during the Biden
Mr.
administration. You
Secretary,
didn't say a word
Mr.
about it.
Secretary, do not interrupt.
Don't you point your finger at me. Don't
I
be a
will
hypocrite.
point my finger
Don't you be
at
a hypocrite
you.
then. Then you be as
3,900
you should be as upset about the 450,000 kids that were lost.
Then
You
talk
didn't
about
say
it.
a word about it. For 4 years, you never said a word.
Mr. Secretary.
Could you put him in his place for
Don't yell at
You
me.
should
I'm
be
the
put in
good
your
guy.
place.
Mr. Secretary, if
Put
you
him in
would
his
like
place.
4 minutes for a closing statement when everybody's done, I'll give you that. But while members are on their 8 minutes, I need them to have their 8
I
minutes.
Mr.
started
Chairman,
my
I
comments.
appreciate that. My issue is that they say this for sound bites, and I'm not going to let them say
What
something
did
like
you
that
do
that's not
just
true.
recently for sound bites? I sympathize with the 400.
We are going to have something resembling
Guys.
order here. The time is the ranking members.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like to respond later on, there are methods to do that, but it's not a who can talk louder into the mic.
It's not.
So you are recognized.
Thank you very much.
I will not let her
Mr.
sit there and lie and accuse something this ridiculous.
So the idea of the family separations is not even much of a serious, intriguing one here, right? Like if you have broken into our country specifically, and you are someone that has been carrying or toting specifically a young one with you, all right, you're going to jail. Basically, you're going to go to some type of detention here. You broke into our country, we caught you. You don't know the right words to basically say to get asylum, et cetera, et cetera. You just broke into our country with a young one here. So what I'm taking from this here is that she would have preferred for the same place where the adults were going for the kids to also be there. Now, bringing up the 450,000 missing, that's interesting. They never bring these issues up here. The only thing they generally care about seriously here are the things that have the ability to somewhat hurt the other party while being blind specifically to their party's nonsense.
Do
Thank you.
not accuse me of lying. Do not.
Then don't.
You're being accused of omitting.
I appreciate, and I said to you at the outset, there's concern for children across the board. We care deeply about what's happening to children. And I went to the border and I watched children in those fenced-in places years ago and what was happening to them. So I have a long history, Mr. Secretary, in this area. 3,900 kids were separated. Secretary Azar told me he had a way to reunite them. Many of them were not reunited till today. And I don't want you to answer this now. Please get back to us and tell us what you are doing with regard to the settlement in terms of this issue, which is out there, which your department needs to come close to. I'll make a statement to you again. But
Guys, I think the hair dye is like seeping into this. Never mind.
this is fact from the bill, Mr. Chairman. The bill that the Republicans have proposed for funding the Department of Homeland Security cuts cybersecurity budget by more than $250 million. It cuts the TSA by nearly $350 million. And the Trump administration is openly advocating for privatizing TSA while trying to eliminate their collective bargaining rights. We all know what happened earlier this year. TSA workers endured the longest government shutdown in history. There was a lot of discussion and talk invoked about the long lines and the use of leverage to force through a Homeland Security bill without any reforms to what were critical ICE and CBP reforms that were necessary, that the American people wanted and were clamoring for. They didn't want to continue to see masked marauders on their streets with just harassing people. Congress eventually passed my legislation that paid TSA workers, funded FEMA, CISA, Secret Service, and the Coast Guard. And today, and it took you 79 days on the Republican side to make that decision to pay these people instead of just talking about paying this. The administration continues to attempt to walk away from the collective bargaining agreement with TSA workers, something that the federal courts have now twice said is illegal. Indeed, your testimony frames the attempt to force over 200 smaller airports in this country into a new security structure as a setting. And quote, the TSA, this is in the testimony, the TSA is on the path to privatization. My question on this issue is, given all that the transportation security officers did for us during a Republican shutdown, how can it be that the department's position is that TSA workers should not be granted the same basic labor protections as federal enforcement officers? How can it be that your priority is to have them work for the lowest bidder, where the wages and the benefits of these workers will unquestionably be lower?
Well, actually, it was the Democrats that voted every time to shut them down. Republicans voted every time to open them up.
Pass, just give me-
We didn't
Say it
shut them
louder.
down. You shut them down.
Answer
it
my
louder.
question.
Say it louder.
What are you doing? Why are you moving?
Ma'am, I answered your question. You were the one that shut them down. The Democrats shut down. How many times did you vote to shut them down?
Why, these people come to us to get funding for the work that they do, and we
I'm
ought to
actually
take a look at
factually
the work
correct.
that they
I'm
don't do.
factually correct.
The work
You
that they
voted
don't
to
do.
shut them down. Republicans voted to open them over and over and
Well,
over
what
again.
the
Your vote
Republicans
clearly
finally
stated
did-
that you voted to shut us
what they
down.
finally
Guys.
It wasn't until it became
Madam
popular,
Ranking
and then, by
Member.
the way, ICE agents came there and helped bring the
Mr.
lines down. The
Secretary.
same
They
people
sure
that you
did.
also kept
They
shut
sure
down.
did.
Yes.
And CNN went and basically praised them.
Secretaries.
I'm answering the question.
No, you
I thought
didn't,
you said you
Mr.
answered it.
Secretary.
The floor is hers.
My dear,
Actually, I gave it to her. You know, there is a chairman of a committee. That's me. I gave it back to her.
this tells
She's
you
got it.
something about who these folks are.
So there are a couple of people that, for me, mentally, absolutely represent the Democrat Party kind of large scale, and their moderate incoherence when it comes to saying things with such conviction, but legitimately getting disproven almost immediately when the facts are basically given to them. And they're just like, those facts do not specifically kind of adhere to my overall thought process or my think tank's thought process. So those are inappropriate. Please don't say this. Right? That's kind of the energy I get whenever I hear like DeLauro or even like Hakeem Jeffries speak consistently. Those two people mainly. Do they mean what they say? Or are they just saying what they think like AOC, Ilhan Omar, and all the rest of Rashida Tlaib, and I can just keep naming random, people. But like, are they just saying things to like resonate with that specific base? Because I refuse to believe that there are people that have voted these absolute be nice today. I refuse to believe that there are people that voted these beautiful people into office, guys. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. Like, who's voting for these people, bro? Let's be honest here. It's very hard to listen to people in the government start speaking about trusting the government, funding these gigantic programs even more when you're not even thinking about the 450,000 missing young ones that exist, guys. Okay? Just understand this here. You're not thinking about that, but then in the same breath, you're telling us we need to worry about the 3,900 family separations that happened, and they happened legitimately for a reason. Imagine the photo op that the Democrat Party would have specifically been able to garner, all right, by finding kids in adult prisons. Oh, you don't want to have that conversation. Like, you don't understand it's like not a win-win scenario. The only win for them would have said, why do we have borders? Borders were silly. That's it. That's the only win. Understand there's no way to win that battle right there. Not a single way to win that battle, bro. So the family separations for the most part had to happen because why do you want a kid like the young ones in adult prisons? They have to be separate, bro. I'm sorry. You broke into our country. What are you expecting from us, bro? Right? Like, what are you expecting? Break into their country. Okay? Break into their country. DeLauro, all right? Break into their country. Whatever group you are trying to stand up for right now, break into their country. Please, do it. You're not going to. Guys, but either way, let me know in the comments what you guys think. We're definitely going to follow this story. We're going to see if more people have more to say kind of about this topic here. Because this is a thing that pops up every couple of years, guys, whenever they're trying to like reignite your base to basically say, look at how bad Donald Trump and the Republicans were for separating 3,900 people without giving any type of context or even like a caveat specifically to explain why it had to happen, but never pointing out the 450,000 missing young ones for some reason in the same breath. You probably should, but you won't because it represents Biden's mishaps. But either way, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. But in the meantime, guys, I'll go ahead and catch you guys later.